Last time on Legend of Heroes Trails on the Sky, we started off our level game, got our little flashback into a flash forward, and made our way over to Rolent and started exploring. This time we're continuing the exploration, starting with the inn here, and then making our way around to the lodgings, the Septian Church, the Orbital Factory probably, and eventually to the Bracer Guild. Yes, I've already made arrangements regarding the lumber. I'm looking into the Septium right now. Simon, listen to me and listen to me well. Right now it's time for us to purchase lumber and Septium. Ignoring the potential risks, I'm going to buy as much as I can with the budget. Welcome! Oh, Estelle and Joshua? It's been a while, hasn't it, Elisa? Is there something going on today? Could it be that you're on a date together? Yeah, right. We're actually on our way to bracer training now. Oh, is that all? Everyone from Sunday school seems to have decided on a career or goal and is working hard to achieve it. As expected, you're a bit different than everyone else though. What? Is there something wrong with that? No, not at all. I just thought it was very like you to pick the unusual route, that's all. Oh, that's right. Tio decided that she was going to help out her parents' farm. She even said for us to all go up and visit her sometime. So that's what Tio decided on, huh? Crunch, smack. Choo choo choo. Munch munch munch. Nope. I get so hungry working in the mines. I can tell that. I can buy things, but I'm not going to right now considering I don't have that much money and I'm going to need it later. As you can see, you can learn these recipes and cook them yourselves. Let's see, yesterday's sales totaled... Our breakfast service has been going really well. Sometimes my husband comes up with some good ideas. Wow, that's a little rude. Only sometimes? I see that chest up there. Airship is up that way, which we'll get to later. Clock tower. There's a ladder that goes up the observation deck. What's wrong, Estelle? Something on your mind? It's nothing, really. How about we climb up to the observation deck? Sure, I guess. That was a little weird, wasn't it? Yeah, nice little view from up here, but there's nothing much to do right now. Mr. Paddington! Now I know that voice from somewhere. Oh ho ho! But what have we got here? Cassius's naughty daughter and clever son, huh? Just when I thought you hadn't been around in a while, you've shown up all grown. Are you here every day, Mr. Paddington? This place has become somewhat of a new home for me. I intend to spend the remainder of my days guarding this clock. Against what? What are you guarding the clock against, sir? I'm just on my way over to the forest of Mistwall to the south of here for work. There was a merchant from Bose who came here to buy lumber. I need to get enough ready for the order I received. Hotel Rolent. Nice little bathroom side area there. Welcome to the Hotel Rolent. Are you here to spend the night? Vern, it's us, don't you remember? I know. I was just joking, Estelle. I was practicing my greeting just now. Oh, really? Do you ever notice that Vern teases people with a straight face while being courteous at the same time? Probably because he can. Wow, was that a snide jab at Estelle there, Joshua? Because I think it was, and I'm all for it. So you can probably tell from how I'm just wandering into all these places that I do not have much memory of where things are in this game. And that's going to be how it is, and that's fine by me. Doesn't mean I'm not going to remember things as they happen. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. My, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua. Good morning. Where are you off to this morning? It must be tough waking up so early. It's been a while since I saw both of you. I'm impressed to see you visiting the chapel so early in the morning. Good morning, Father Divine. Good morning. You were habitually late and played hooky more than a few times during your Sunday school days, Estelle. So have you changed your attitude on life since you graduated? A bit, I guess. Looks like there is a little time before morning mass begins. So how about I give you both a special sermon? No thanks. Why am I getting thrown into the mix here? 'Cause you're her brother. So this is going to be the one thing I need to get used to, is that the camera resets to a certain position whenever you come in and out of the building. And so where you think you're going is not always where you're actually going. Top of the morning to you kids. Good morning, Mr. Elgar. Good morning, sir. Well, you're up rather early, aren't you? Correct me if I'm wrong, but today's your last day of training, isn't it? I seem to remember you saying something about it the last time I had you run the store. Yes, that's right. I see. Well, I'm sure you'll do just fine, Joshua. Now, Estelle, on the other hand, I've got good reason to worry. She's always been a bit scatterbrained ever since she was a child. Probably all the knocks she took to the head playing with the boys. Really? So I guess that scatterbrain trait isn't something new, huh? I'll give you a head injury if you don't shut up. And don't call me scatterbrain. Okay, you two, let's not fight now. And shouldn't you be getting over to the guild? Well, yes, I will be shortly. I didn't mean to go up there. Out there. Good morning, Stella. Oh my, well if it isn't Estelle and Joshua. Are you on your way to bracer training? Yeah, and just you watch. I'm going to pass this exam and be as good of a bracer as Kara, too. You're darn right you are. I have faith in you. By the way, Estelle. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Did you wash your face? How about your teeth? Did you brush them too? Joshua is so fastidious, but you always forget to take care of yourself. Come on, that was a long time ago. I don't do that anymore, right, Joshua? Now that you mention it, you did take off from home the other day with your hair all a mess, right? That was only because it was an emergency. Mr. Renon got the newest Dragon brand sneakers in on that day. Estelle! Yes? You listen to me carefully. For a girl your age, you need to take care of these things. If your appearance is messy, you won't look like someone that people can trust, even if you are a bracer. Your appearance is the reflection of what is on the inside. Alright, be more careful from now on. Well, that's that. Now how about the both of you get on over to the guild? And just can't argue with her. She's a no-nonsense mother who has her way. We have one more building to check out before we go to the Bracers Guild. And we're going to learn a lot more about this shortly. Hey, I'm still setting up shop. Ah, Estelle and Joshua. You seem to be here rather early. Good morning, Mr. Melders. Good morning, sir. We appreciate you fixing that ornament light the other day. Speaking of ornament lights, isn't the one outside our house burned out? Cheer, they're replaced ASAP. Ornaments sure are a daily life necessity, aren't they? When I was a lad, there weren't any of these ornament things. Now we can get fire and light with a mere flip of a switch, and even ships fly in the skies. I don't like it. Don't you kids think things are way too convenient these days? Oh crap, there he goes again about the old days. Yeah, well if you just learned to shut your big trap. When I was a young man, I made things a reality through hard work and sweat. Sweat, I tell ya! It'd be nice if the young kids these days knew the meaning of the phrase hard work. You're probably right. Hey, if it isn't Joshua and Estelle. How are those ornaments working out for you that we tuned the other time you were here? In your case, Estelle, it's not whether the ornament is good or bad. The problem lies in the way you use it. You're always on jumping onto things without second thought, so you end up being slow to learn. You just start thinking before you start swinging, and you'd learn twice as much. Well, excuse me for sucking. There, no need to get upset. Everyone has these problems when they first start out. And get the hang of things, you'll gradually be able to handle them better. That's right. I'm going to master using this as quick as I can, as fast as even Joshua. Yeah, whatever. When I first entered the Zace Central Factory, I pretty much couldn't use one of these things either. Even you couldn't use one, Freddy? Yeah, but I can still become an engineer even if I can't use one. Since you're aiming to become a bracer, you'll have to learn how. And that leads into that back alley from earlier. Okay. Looks like it's time finally to go into the Bracer Guild. There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Good morning, Aina. Good morning. Is Skara here already? Yes, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognized as members of the Bracer Guild. Good luck to the both of you. Thanks. We'll do our best. It looks so much simpler than the cutscene, right? Just how the times were back in the early 2000s. Star and the Hanged Man, the Hermit and the Magician, and last of all, Inversion for the Wheel of Fortune. This is a difficult combination. How should I interpret this? Good morning, Skara. Well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua, this is a rare occasion for the both of you to show up so early. Since it's my last day of training, I figured, why not? I'm ready to get the show on the road and become a bracer myself. I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm. But I'm going to work you hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I can feel that enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet, you. Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of the information in your head, instead of letting it dribble out of your ears like it usually does. Joshua, Skara's picking on me. Don't worry, Skara. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework, acts rashly, is overly naive, and has a tendency to stick her nose down. Her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up how to use an ornament with some practice, eventually. Probably. I guess there's not much I can do now except hope for the best. Hold on a sec, Joshua. Somehow I get the feeling that you weren't standing up for me. Wow, that's odd. I'm positive I described all your best traits accurately. Whatever. By the way, Skara, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Your face was really intense. Oh, this? I was trying to get a vague reading about what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to be in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You couldn't read the cards? Now that's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. That's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we covered in your previous training. This is the minimum level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say. Yeah. About augments. Augments are mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbal energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and the type of quartz, or processed septium, and salt. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, heaters, and other everyday products, to weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as the Orbal Revolution. Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of their respective regions. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, finding lost items, and escorting people and goods. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manages the affairs of the bracers in each region. The Kingdom of Liberl, in which we live, sits on the western half of the Zemurian continent, and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. Liberl is proud to be one of the leading producers of septium on the continent, and is known for its high level of technology used to develop augments. Augment technology has also been a key pillar of support for Liberl in protecting its independence as it has contended with neighbouring nations. 10 years ago, when Liberl was invaded by the Ebronian Empire, it was the use of orbital-powered airships to save the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive, but thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Liberl enjoys peace. So, to add on to that, from what I was talking about last episode, the third set of games, the quadrilogy, takes place in the Ebronian Empire with a different group of characters. And the fourth set of two games, the duology, is a combination of the groups, plus a third group as well from the middle set of games. The second set of games, rather. So it's basically like you've got Liberl story, you've got Erebronian story, you've got a story of somewhere else that I'm not aware of, and then you have the combination of those three stories meeting. Let's see. Since we've got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. We're going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Sierra, how is today's practical training any different from the training we've done before? This is practical, that means you'll be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have both of you run through everything as if this were a real bracer job. So what you're saying is, there won't be any studying at a desk involved? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time you have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure to have you work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yes, that's seriously just what the doctor ordered. Didn't know what I was going to do if I had to sit another day with my tush parked at a desk. I guess I got all worried for nothing. Well, suddenly you're all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Let's just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective, shall we? Let's have at it. The first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you will be performing. But before that, there's something we need to give the both of you. I know. Are they ready? Yes, they are. Alright, you two, go get one for each of yourselves. These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. Bracer notebooks. Bracer notebooks serve as the official way to record the status of your current job. Also, anything you may hear or anything that you may find and wear. These kinds of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Understood. Crap, this sounds like it's going to be a pain. Oh. Please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me, because I swear I only got one response. I'm sure there were two. Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all bracers. So get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I get it. Make sure you do. Alright then, let's begin. Look over by the door. You can see there's a bulletin board standing there. First, I want you to go and check the job description posted there. Training, retrieval, long. Training will involve searching the sewers beneath Rolent and bringing back the contents of a chest. Just saying the bracer notebook is really handy. Very good. Looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions a bracer performs on their job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also an important duty for bracers. Man, all this talk about duty is starting to cram my style. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a bracer calls for more than just someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. I'll just have to be more motivated. Is that so? Had a change of heart, have you? You betcha. Well, before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task. What will we be doing this time? We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbital Factory, learning about how to use its services. He's graciously taken time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Okay. Here's where you will learn how to use an Orbital Factory's services. At an Orbital Factory, you can modify your orbment and synthesize support ports in order to use orbital arts. Arts have a wide range of effects, and if mastered, can be extremely helpful. Bracer business is a pretty risky occupation, so the guild has a long-standing relationship with these orbital factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here. No problem, leave everything to me. So, what is it that you would like to know about? Orbments are mechanical devices which exhibit an array of effects through the installation of various types of ports. By definition, that means that lights, edge engines, and so on are also types of orbments. However, the ones we will be discussing today are battle orbments, which enhance the user's physical abilities and makes it possible to use magic. Since each orbment is adjusted to match your own personal aptitude, the structures for these devices also differ for each. Simply put, the shape of the fixed elemental slots and lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. In order to install ports, you must first have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots must be opened at an orbital factory like this. It will take a fair amount of step effort too. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible. So what is it that you would like to know? Orbital art. Simply put, orbital arts are magic which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle orbits. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced by using the orbital energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since orbital arts can be a mouthful, they are almost universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have been called that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, their corresponding ports must first be synthesized at an orbital factory. Orbments are also set up so that once a particular port is installed into a slot, the owner will be able to use those arts. type of arts ones can use also changes depending on the elemental value and the combination of installed quartz. Basically, if you want to use water arts, all you have to do is install quartz with a water elemental value. In reality, augments are much more complex than what I have described, but I think this information should suffice for now. Quartz are circuits made from sepith. Quartz have a vast number of effects and raise the owner's abilities while simultaneously making it possible for them to use arts. However, you will not be able to harness any of these effects until quartz has been installed into a slot. However, there are also fixed slots in which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. This being the case, when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your augment and decide where you will be installing it at any time. Sepith are fragments of septium which are dropped by monsters. They are divided into 7 types: Earth, Water, Fire, Wind, Time, Space, and Mirage, which are brown, blue, red, green, black, gold, and silver respectively. Sepith can be exchanged for mirror almost anywhere, but at the Orbital Factory it can be used to synthesize quartz and to open augment slots in which to install the synthesized quartz. It looks like Mr. Melders has answered all your questions. If there's nothing else, let's have you both try and use the services here. For that, you're going to need some sepith. With that amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. I want you to begin by first making the elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular augments. In your case, though, any elemental quartz is okay. But for you, Joshua, it has to be a time element. Normally, at a shop, you'd be able to exchange sepith for mirror. But for this training, you will not be able to use this service. So for example, I could open either of these two, but it would cost 30 sepith to do so, and I only have 20 of each. Same with that. So it wants me to make any of these quartz for Estelle, and one of these ones for Joshua. So for Estelle, I think we're going to go with HP. Alright, it looks like you were able to synthesize one. Next, I want you to increase the arts you can use. Now install a quartz into your augment so you can use both recovery and attack arts. And so we're going into the menu. We want to give that HP 1, which gives them Tear and Aqua Bleed. Meanwhile, Joshua is going to use the Time Quartz to get Clock Up and Soul Work. And I believe there should be somewhere to be able to tell what that is, but alright, looks like you've got both recovery and attack arts set up. If you balance your arts out between each other like you're doing here, it should make dealing with monsters much easier. Additionally, your bracer notebooks contain information about which quartz allows you to use which arts. If you'd like to use more powerful arts, check out the arts and quartz charts in your bracer notebooks and find something that works for you. Alright, our training here is almost finished. Last of all, I'm going to have one of you open a new slot in your augments. The more slots you have available to you, the broader range of choices you'll have. Since EP, which is consumed by using arts, now has max value increased by opening up slots, it would be a good idea to open them all early on. Now I want you to use this sepith and open up a slot on each of your augments. Go ahead and decide which slots you're going to open. We'll open slot 6. Don't have enough for that. And neither does he, actually. See, it means you open up one of your augment slots, Estelle. Since your central slot is not limited to a particular element, you're free to install any type of quartz you like. This concludes your training here at the Orbital Factory. Now it's time to move on to what you've been waiting for, the qualification test. Pardon? Did you just say test? You can't honestly tell me that you forgot about the test again, can you? Didn't I remind you just this morning? Now that you mention it, I vaguely remember some talk along those lines at the breakfast table. Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracelet Guild and humanity. Oh well, no sense in worrying about that now. Let's head over to the testing area. I mean, like now? I don't know if I'm ready for... How about a little less yapping and a little more walking? And Estelle gets dragged out. Joshua! Help me! Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all your help. Don't mention it. Good luck with that test of yours. We'll be rooting for you. I'm going to remember that you left me high and dry like this. Joshua! All your training has finally come down to this. The qualification test will begin here. I expect to see you both use what you've learned up to this point. Understood. What's wrong, Estelle? Scara? What now? I was kind of wondering, but is there not going to be a paper test or something? Cassius dropped you on your head as a child or something? You just read what it said on the bulletin board not that long ago, right? Yeah, and? They even made you jot down what you read in your bracelet notebooks, unless you forgot that, too. I'm pretty sure the job listing mentioned searching for and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ringing any bells yet? What a relief! Oh, divine Idios, I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers. So what you're really saying is that you thought it was a paper test? No wonder you were acting all crazy back at the Orbital Factory. Ah, I can already feel the nostalgia. All those horrible days stuck in a classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed. I'm really starting to wonder if we'll even be able to graduate at all. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things? Alright, that's enough jabbering, you two. This is supposed to be a test, so how about both you try to at least look a little anxious? So you know though, if you do happen to flunk the test, you don't even want to imagine the kind of homework I haven't solved for both. We'll be fine. Just tell us what you wanted us to do and let us loose. Well, you're so confident, then how about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test? Anyway, as you both saw on the bulletin board, this test will be a search conducted in Rolent sewers. The objective is to retrieve the contents of the chest which has been placed somewhere within that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real, living, breathing monsters down there. So if you get careless and let down your guard, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget. What's this book for? It's called a monster guide. It's used to record information about monsters and other opponents you meet. Whenever you figure out an enemy's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it in there. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He controls the flow of information, controls the tide of battle, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. You've really got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua. That's some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Scara. We'll put it to good use. Alrighty then, let's get pumped and knock out this test. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure we treat it as such. And here we are in the sewers, which we will get to next time on Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky.